Hey everybody, how are you? This is Jim Prusak, physiotherapist from the Pain PT. And today this topic is just because you don't feel safe and okay doesn't mean that you aren't safe and okay. Just because you don't feel safe and okay doesn't mean you are not safe and okay. And I want to touch upon this today, to touch upon the disparity between knowing and believing in the truth of what's happening and the feeling in the body that tells us something different. We have two different things here that we're working with. And I hear this all the time working with people. Jim, I don't feel this way. I feel this, I feel that. And I'm always telling people, yes, that's what you feel, but a feeling isn't always telling you the truth of what's happening. And this is how TMS or mind body symptoms, or what we call PPD symptoms, represent. They represent a feeling that we have, which is a symptom, but it's not always telling us the truth of what's happening. Okay, so it's like having an injury type sensation, some symptom of a physical nature, and we're thinking it's representing something's wrong with us or some danger or threat or damage. And what I'm saying is, with these chronic conditions, it's not representing that. It's just representing a brain, limbic brain, and autonomic nervous system reaction that trickles into the body to create this feeling, which we call a symptom. And as I've been talking about on this channel, and you've watched many times before, that symptom is typically an emotional reaction or some type of conditioning reaction, what we call central sensitization reaction, predictive coding, and emotional reactions. All these things wrapped up as a signal, as a chemical reaction, electrical signal from your brain into your body. These conditions are not structural, physically damaged issues in the body. Okay, they don't represent that. They're not acute typically. They don't represent damaged, severed nerves, torn muscles, strained ligaments, things like that. They represent conditions of the brain and nervous system. And these type of things are coming from your limbic brain, as you've learned here, which is your emotional brain. It's also the area of your brain that reacts in nanoseconds and draws off your memories as well. So it will project and produce danger signals or signals of stress or symptoms that you feel that you may interpret as being, oh my gosh, something is wrong with this because I have a pain, I have a symptom of a physical nature. And human nature is such that, yes, you would think, oh my gosh, I better go get this looked at, checked out, treated, so on and so forth. And you find out when you do that, it doesn't go away. It doesn't resolve, or the doctors don't see anything that they can put their finger on that clinically makes sense. So how you're feeling is not good. You're feeling bad. You're feeling horrible. You can have excruciating pain. You can have very high level symptoms in your body. And yet at the same time, you can be completely okay. And again, this is this disparity here. I tell people between knowing and believing the truth versus the feeling. Okay, now we're talking about the two parts of your brain here that we know are very central with these conditions. This is again, your amygdala, which is part of your limbic brain, what's called your cortical region, the prefrontal cortex, which is your executive mind, your thinking brain, your parental mind, the part of your brain that makes decisions, that understands things and perceives things, knowledge. Okay, allows us as humans to be where we are now with our studies and understandings and able to create all the amazing things we've created in this world. And then you have your emotional brain, which is your older brain. And that is quite reactive, very fast. If before your prefrontal cortex, so it's always going to act first, react first. And it sends signals into your body through your autonomic nervous system. Again, feeling something you feel. Okay, I feel this, I feel that, I feel pain, I feel upset, I feel tired, I feel a sharpness here. I feel stiff. I feel tight. I feel tense. I feel. Again, the feeling you're having with these conditions is not related a lot of times to what's happening, to what we believe. Again, two separate things. You need to hold up the belief, the knowing, the understanding from your evidence, from the very real evidence you have around your condition, from all your history, personal history, life history, from the time the symptoms started back to childhood, coupled with your evidence, physical evidence from your doctor's visits and things like that, and put this together into an understanding of what this is by the evidence. Is this brain and nervous system driven? Is there something physically, structurally damaged and wrong with me? Like I have a severe hip arthritis and I need a hip replacement. Is there a severed nerve? Is there an obstructed bowel? Is there something like that that we need to get repaired? We need to get fixed. If not, in many cases, this is not true. Again, this is a neurological signaling production of feelings in your body that are called symptoms that we then can believe and think are bad. Something is wrong. Something is not right. Something is broken in me. And that is not the truth. Okay, so we need to hold the truth from your evidence against the feeling. Now remember, your limbic brain produces these feelings, produces these symptoms. They're emotional in nature. They come with a lot of power. They come with a lot of emotion. That's why people end up having strong feelings, strong symptoms. So we need to hold up your knowing and belief through your cortex. That can have massive ability to inhibit, quiet down the amygdala, right? So we need to hold that belief through your knowing from the evidence. And the stronger your belief is, the more you hold to it, the more power it has in the message it sends to that limbic brain, to that amygdala in particular, to calm down. Okay, so this is where we get into being able to stay the course, even if the symptoms get bad, to be able to move forward with life, knowing again that you're fine, you're okay. You don't feel okay, but you are okay. You don't feel good, but you are good. You feel broken, but you're not. Okay, and so this is the idea that we need to teach the limbic brain over a period of time. And yes, it can take time. Sometimes a good amount of time for people, sometimes not that long, just depends. That you're safe, you're secure, you're okay, you're not broken, you're not damaged. There's nothing wrong with you structurally or physically. This is a neuroplastic, this is a neurological driven symptom in your body from your brain through your autonomic nervous system, which connects to all your systems so you can have a variety of symptoms. And we're teaching the brain. One of our strategies is what we're talking about today, teaching the brain, that limbic brain, that we're safe, secure, we are okay. We know we are. We know we are by the evidence. And we're going to hold that evidence and belief over here against this. Okay, that is throwing these feelings and symptoms in your body. And we need to stay with the understanding so that we can navigate it. We can continue to inhibit it, bring it down, break it down as we move forward, to continue to teach, show, tell the brain that we are indeed completely okay, fine, safe. Now, again, your history, your past, the stresses, the traumas, the adverse childhood events, the PTSDs, your upbringing, the anxiety, the depression, the shame, they're all going to tell you that there's something wrong. They're all going to potentially get kicked up or triggered and get activated again now. And that's telling us something's broken, something's not right, something is wrong in us. But the truth is, nothing is wrong in us. It's a brain that's reacting to something, kicking this off in our bodies. that we are somehow believing and reinforcing negatively because we don't understand this. And because it's very powerful and very strong and crippling and sometimes disabling for people. It's very real. These symptoms are absolutely real. Nobody's making them up. They're actually happening in the body and can be more uncomfortable and more debilitating than structural symptoms. Many times they are because they carry emotion and they carry a history and a past with them as well. So the brain is very protective. The brain is going to do what it thinks it's doing in your best interest to protect you. So if it perceives any type of danger or threat through your own head, through externally in your environment, okay, through your senses, it potentially can react. And it can react in a nanosecond and kick off that symptom in your body, that feeling. Or it could be stuck and you can be chronically in a persistent state of symptoms. Doesn't mean anything's wrong still. In fact, all it means is that amygdala, that limbic brain, is turned on and is continuing to pump out stress chemicals based on what it perceives as danger and threat to you. Now, the danger and threat can be many things. We can go over that another time, but the danger and threat that limbic brain is perceiving could be based on things that happened to you in the past that are then being triggered again now. It could be emotions that feel dangerous to you and threatening that you don't normally express, you have a difficult time showing or sharing or releasing, okay, and acknowledging. So it could be emotions, it could be people that you trigger, it could be places, things like this. Could be your own thoughts in your mind. Again, it's based on your whole life. And even before you were born, because of the way genes can be passed down, there could be some of that in your system as well. So we need to learn to work with what you're dealing with here in your body from the belief, the knowing that you are all right, you are okay. This is the truth, even though you don't feel okay. This is, again, this disparity here. You don't feel good, you don't feel okay, but I'm telling you, you are when you have these conditions. And this is what we need to work with more and more to help the limbic brain settle down. Now, Dr. Sarno, who many of you know, who wrote a couple best-selling books on these conditions, there's many testimonials of people who read his book and were cured, or they felt better soon after. I've seen this, I've heard this. I've also seen people go to doctors where doctors said, look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. And then soon after they start to improve and get better. This is what we're talking about here. This is the prefrontal cortex receiving the information and the belief and the knowing getting activated strongly. And that's quieting down the limbic brain and people start to feel better. They don't worry about it as much. They're not concerned, calming down, going back to their life. Normally, they're not putting all the tension on it and focus on it as if it's a problem. And the thing goes down. And I've seen this over and over again. And this is what we're speaking about today. The power of your belief, the power of your knowing, based on your evidence, real evidence, not faith. This is not a faith healing. This is based on the evidence you have of your condition in your life history, personal history, all of it, to what makes sense. And then using that evidence and knowledge as a way in your brain to quiet down the amygdala reaction, the limbic brain reaction. Again, it can go quickly, as you see in book cures, or it can take time. Don't give up. The majority of people don't have the quick instant cure. The majority of people, it's a slow and steady or even long time to convince that brain that you're safe, that you're secure, that you are indeed 100% okay. Just your brain that's perceiving a problem, perceiving danger and threat, and kicking off these reactions in your body. Okay, everybody, I hope that makes sense. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps to spread the word. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you're looking for any support on your journey, I offer consultation. initial assessment, coaching support, also group coaching as well. You can go to my website, thepainpt.com, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Take care.